Hello there. Welcome back. How are you doing? In today's session, we will address health anxiety. It is a very uncomfortable feeling of worrying about your health constantly to the point that you cannot enjoy your life in the present. So today, I intend to help you to find some calm and letting go of this constant anxiety about your health. We will not only relax our mind, but we will also relax our body. So, health anxiety is something that I am personally familiar with. As a matter of fact, every topic I talk about on this channel is from my own subjective experience, my own personal experience. So they are the things that I've learned through real practice. So they're not just theories about how to deal with these difficult emotions, but they come from my own real experiences, what have worked for me. And I really hope that you try this out. Have faith. You got nothing to lose, right? So I just want to take this time to really acknowledge that the anxiety you're feeling right now about your health, the things that you do, for example, Googling your symptoms, these are just your defense mechanism. It's very important that we take a moment and to really acknowledge the fact that as a human being, we are fragile. And it's very natural for us to worry about our health, especially if you have people depending on you. In my case, I have a daughter. I'm a solo parent. And I was really worried about getting sick, especially those terminal illnesses such as cancer. Because if something happened to me, then I wouldn't have anybody else to take care of my child. And that was very scary. And what really helped me was to first acknowledge that my anxiety about my health is not invalid. You probably also have a very good reason to feel the way you do. So let's take a moment to acknowledge that the reason you're afraid of getting sick has a very valid story behind it. And so it's important that you acknowledge this fear, that acknowledge your reasons. And to really sit with that sadness. Because what arises after we acknowledge this fear is sadness. It would be really sad, for example, for me to get really sick to the point that I won't be able to take care of my child. And she deserves a parent who can do stuff with her, can take care of her, who can be there for her. And same for you. It would be sad if you get sick and that you won't be able to do the things that you wanted to do in your life. So let's acknowledge that sadness for a moment. And it's really okay to feel sad. And at this moment, even if it happened, let's say that the worst case scenario has happened. Even if it happened, is there something else we can do about it? I mean, we can go to the doctor. Do you know the prognosis of the sickness that you're afraid of having? What is the percentage of people who have recovered from it? Knowing these things can be very helpful. Have you ever done a proper test, a checkup with your doctor? I've turned to my doctor many times throughout the past few years after I've developed this intense health anxiety. And we have done all sorts of tests. And I've seen my own blood test results, read the results myself. And that really helped me to really see that there was physically nothing wrong with me. I'm not terminally ill. And what I was experiencing was burnout and chronic pain that did not have any explanation, and eventually landed on the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. And knowing what's happening with your body helps you to really let go of that anxiety about having other illnesses. Because you know exactly what's going on. You see your blood test, and there's not much you can do. And even, let's say that even if we get terminally ill, like cancer, honestly, there are millions of people gets this diagnosis, and there's nothing they can do about it. We will be just one of them. And all we can do is to accept it with grace and try to live each and every day, knowing that that might be our last day. But ironically, that mindset actually can help you right now to live a better life, because you know what? Any day can be our last day, with or without sickness, because we are mortal beings. We're so afraid of getting sick and die, but eventually we all die. And there is actually a huge relief in knowing this. Not just knowing, but really accepting this. One way or the other, we will leave this planet. We will leave this body. And for me, really accepting death from the depth of my heart and no longer be afraid of it. And knowing that any day can be my last day, whether it is with sickness, whether it is with accident, whether it is with aging, because I'm getting older every single day. And you too. Every single day we're getting a day closer to the day that we would die. This is not about being negative. This is actually a very positive mindset. Once we acknowledge that, we will realize that most of the things that we worry about in life are not that significant. That we live in this fragile mortal body that can get sick, that can die, and there's really nothing we can do about it most of the time. And so the health anxiety is really all about we trying to fight death. We trying to fight end of life. and trying to attach ourselves to the things that, for example, to our children, to our home, to the worldly things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm saying that not to the point that tortures you. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my daughter. But I've come to a place of acceptance. I'm not saying this with a light heart, okay? Because recently I've had a lot of challenges in terms of my health. I was in bed for days and days because the increased pain, and I even thought that I was going to die. And because that kind of thing happened a lot throughout the past 2 years, ever since my burnout started, now I've come to a place of acceptance. If one day I won't wake up, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. But I will know that the government will find a solution for my daughter. There will be ways to take care of her. She will be 16 this year. And, like accepting that, even if it breaks my heart, accepting that helps me to appreciate each and every single day. But of course, also knowing that there is actually no terminal illness in my body. I'm just tired. I can get better after resting a few days, listening to my body. Combining that whenever that anxiety comes up, using the data that I have, using the facts, was the blood test okay? Yes. I have a regular checkup with my doctor. As a matter of fact, I visit her every month. Just to talk to her, just to get new blood tests, just to hear that she's ensuring me that I'm okay, that I'm just on the mend. So if there is anything that you can do to give yourself those, reality check, do it. Get the blood test, talk to your doctor. And then whenever that anxiety arises, give yourself those reality checks, those facts that you know about your health. And then let go. Do the things that you can do and accept the things that you cannot do. And that made a huge difference in my whole life. And now that we got through this, I want to give you a practice that can help you to calm down both your mind and body. Take your mind off that anxious thoughts about your health, and to really lend yourself to this present moment so you can live your life with a feeling of appreciation and gratitude, instead of wasting your life thinking about the things that did not happen yet. So, anytime you feel this anxiety, tune into this meditation, this practice. So if you're ready, gently close your eyes. If you're sitting, please sit up straight, head over heart, heart over pelvis. Now I invite you to take a few deep breaths from your pelvic floor. Breathing in, hold the breath, open your mouth and breathe out. Breathe all the way out, all the stress out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. One more time. Breathe in all the way from your pelvic floor. And breathe out. Good. Now we do a systematic muscle relaxation to really bring our attention back to our body. To control the things that we can control and let go of the things that we cannot control. And that is the intention for this practice. Now, gently bring your attention to your forehead. Relax your forehead. Let go of any tension. But don't force anything. If you cannot relax completely, it's also okay. Accept it as part of the experience. That's what letting go is all about. Letting go of control. And bring your attention to your eyes, your cheek, your jaw. Relax your jaw. Perhaps slightly open your mouth to relax your jaw. And if you feel like yawning, go ahead and do so. I just had the urge of yawning. And now bring your attention to your neck. And relax your neck. Just do your best. Don't force anything. If you feel like you can't relax it completely, as I said, it's also okay. Letting go and moving forward. Bring your attention to your shoulders. Drop your shoulders. And further down to your arms. Your upper arms. Your lower arms. And your hands. Move your fingers a little bit to really feel that you're in your body. And maybe rotate your wrists a little bit and to let go of any tension and relax your hand. Drop your hand. Maybe your hand is resting beside you or on your knees. Wherever it is, just let it go now. Now bring your attention to your chest. Relax your chest. And down to your stomach. Imagine that all your inner organs are relaxing, letting go. Bring your attention to your back, your upper back, your lower back. If you find any tension that you feel like you can't seem to let go, then it's also okay. Just leave it. Let it be. All is well. Let it be. Now bring your attention to your hips and down to your thighs, your knees, your calves, ankles, and your feet. Perhaps wiggle your toes a little bit. And now pay attention to your body, your whole body. You're here. You are here. Now I invite you to bring your attention to your heart center. And gently bring your right hand above your heart. And to really feel that you are here in your body. And your heart is complete. That you are alive. We sometimes take this organ for granted. But can you take this moment to really send an appreciation to your heart for keeping you alive with every beat? To say thank you. Perhaps you want to set an intention that instead of living with worry and fear, you want to live with appreciation and gratitude each and single day. Knowing that this organ, your heart, is working hard to keeping you alive. And we forget that sometimes. And this is also a reminder how fragile life is. And so maybe we can accept it instead of fight it. Because this is the reality of being a human being. We have a limited time on this planet. So how are we going to use that time? So instead of an anxiety, we can turn that into a motivation to live a better life. Instead of in fear, we can choose to be courageous. Instead of lashing out with anger, with fear, we can choose to love, knowing that this time with our beloved ones are limited. Instead of judging ourselves, we can choose to love and accept ourselves exactly as we are. So there is a lot of wisdom in accepting our own mortality, our own fragile body. So what is your intention? While you are connected to your heart, really appreciate the life you have at this moment. Connecting with yourself. Set your intention. From this moment on, you are willing to choose courage over fear. You're willing to live in the present moment instead of in constant anxiety, worrying about the things that did not happen yet. Because even if they happen, you will deal with them when it happens. But right now, this is the life you have at this moment. It will be an insult to your heart if you waste your life in constant anxiety. So promise to your heart that you will cherish this life. And say thank you for working hard to keeping you alive. And so it is, and so it shall be. Now, gently come back to the room you're in. Gently open your eyes. We're here together. Thank you for showing up for yourself and for this practice. I do hope that you feel a little bit more relaxed now and to carry out your life with courage. Knowing that that anxiety is not going to benefit you in any way. My best wishes for you. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye.